Welcome to Jason in the Kitchen. Today we're going to be making one of my childhood favorites, yellow cake with chocolate buttercream or chocolate frosting, and this is a recipe from America's Test Kitchen. So let's get started. Alright, for our yellow sheet cake, I've got my mixing bowl and I've measured directly into the bowl 9 ounces of cake flour, 12.2 ounces of sugar. I've got 1 teaspoon plus a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon baking soda, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I've used fine ground sea salt in this case. All right. Then I've got 1 stick of butter cut into pieces and a 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. I'm using avocado oil. The butter I'm using, by the way, is Kerry Gold, but you can use whatever butter you have. I've got 1/2 cup of buttermilk, 4 large eggs and 2 large egg yolks, and a tablespoon of vanilla. I use organic pasture raised eggs. You can use whatever you have. The vanilla I've used is Mexican vanilla. You use whatever vanilla you like, but please use pure vanilla. Don't use the artificial stuff. I know there's been studies that there's no difference in the taste, but you don't want carcinogens in your food, or try to lessen them as much as possible. All right, and then I've got a 13 by 9 cake pan that I've greased and floured, and I've got my oven set to 350 degrees. So let's get this cake mixed. All right, we've got our mixing bowl with our dry ingredients and the stand mixer with the paddle attachment. I'm going to run this on low just to mix those dry ingredients together. You just do this for a little bit just to get everything mixed together. When I was a kid, my mom used to make Jiffy Cake. You can still buy them today at the grocery store and make those, and I used to love those as a cake. So this yellow cake with chocolate frosting is like nostalgic for me. It's a throwback to those memories as a kid, having that Jiffy Cake made and eating that. Just some good memories for me. All right, let's stop this now. We're gonna add our softened butter. That's unsalted butter, by the way. Okay. Gonna mix that together real quick. We're using both butter and oil in this recipe, and that'll give you the butter flavor, but the oil will also keep the cake moist. Alright, now I'm going to add in the avocado oil. You can use whatever kind of vegetable oil you like. Okay, this will take about 30 seconds to come together. Alright, I'm not seeing any more flour on the bottom of the bowl, so we're going to increase the speed to medium, and that's going to aerate this, well, it looks like a dough right now, but it's going to aerate it. So here we go. Alright, it's been a minute. We're going to scrape down our bowl, the rubber spatula here. Make sure we get the bottom and the sides. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to add all of our liquid ingredients. All right, and we're just going to mix this on low until it comes together. All right, we're going to scrape down the bowl again. Make sure we get everything off the sides and off the bottom. This is an important step because you don't want to have lumps in your batter. All right, now we're going to slowly increase the speed up to medium to aerate this batter some more. And we're going to whip this on medium for 3 minutes. All right, our cake batter is nice and thick now. Look at that. Since we whipped all that air into it with the, we didn't use the whisk, but we used the paddle. It's really nice. Now we're going to put that into our prepared cake pan. Spread that out the best you can. Use a spatula to get everything out. Now what we're going to do is spread this out into the corners. All right, looking good. All right, just gonna clean up the sides a little bit. All right, now what we want to do is we want to pound it to make sure there's no air bubbles in it. And what that's also going to do is make sure that the cake is evenly distributed. So we'll pound it 5 times. 1. Saw an air bubble pop. If you see some bubbles come to the surface, just pop them on your own. Now we're going to put this into our heated 350-degree oven. And this should take anywhere from 28 to 32 minutes. You want a toothpick to come out clean, or just with a crumb or 2 on it. Okay, the cake is now ready. With my oven and in this pan, it took 34 minutes. So it may vary depending on your oven. So the top is firm. Okay, the light press. Put in a toothpick and it comes out clean. You're ready to go. Don't let it bake too long or else it'll dry the more you leave it in. Now we got to let this sit and rest for 2 hours. All right, so now we're going to make our chocolate buttercream. Inside the mixing bowl, I've got 9 ounces confectioner sugar, 1.5 ounces cocoa powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I've also measured out 8 tablespoons of softened butter, and I've cut those into chunks. And then I've got 2 ounces of melted chocolate bar, 60% cocoa that's been melted, and then a 1/4 cup of hot water. Now what we're going to do is we're going to mix this with the whisk attachment on low, just to mix everything together, all the dry ingredients first. All right, now we're going to put in the 1/4 cup of hot water. We're going to mix that on low, just until it comes together. All right, now we're going to increase the speed to medium. And we're going to let that go for about a minute. All right, now I'm added in all the butter and we're going to start mixing that up. Going to start it on low and then work it up to medium. All right, we got that all mixed up. Now we're going to add our melted chocolate And we're going to mix that in on low speed. Make sure during this process you just scrape down your bowl as needed. Alright, our icing is ready. It's nice and fluffy. We need to let this sit though for about 45 minutes. And then we can spread it onto our cake. Really good. Alright. Cake is ready to frost. Just want to put chocolate frosting on top. Actually a buttercream, but I'm thinking about the Jiffy Cake. Alright, so this is a non-fancy decorating kind of cake. I guess you could get a little fancy with it if you want to. Pretty much just want to spread out your chocolate buttercream. Now, I guess if you have kids, you know, you can put sprinkles and stuff on it and make it fun. But this is meant to be just a fun snack cake or a cake for any time, you know, not a special occasion. But I think I actually requested this cake one time on my birthday, the Jiffy Cake, not this one, but you know what's good too is with that Jiffy Cake, I remember eating it warm too. That was really good. So I guess you could heat a piece of this up in the microwave. That would be good too. Just get it out to the corners. Now if you want, you can put this on a cake board if you have them and put it in a cake container. But with this kind of cake, you know, it's really not necessary, but you know, you can do what you want. You can cut it right here into the pan. I would suggest you use a plastic knife or something that's not going to scrape up and damage the bottom of your cake pan, but all right, there we go. And if you want to just kind of do some back and forth here, make a little waves. But like I said, this is not meant to be anything fancy, but this could be like a weeknight cake or something that you could put together really quick. Make sure I get all of that buttercream on there. And there we go. It's our yellow sheet cake with chocolate buttercream icing. That's nostalgic for me. Reminds me of the Jiffy Cake like my mom used to make when I was a kid. This is just a homemade version of that. So thank you so much for watching. If you find value in these videos, please like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Moist cake, chocolatey, buttercream. That really takes me back.